I'm sorry, who are you?
Who are you?
And now we're here to talk Severance, Season 2, Episode 7? A while ago, it seemed like this would never happen. I mean, right now, I'm still in that state where Episode 8 won't happen. Oh, it's over again? So, Lumon is everywhere. As we've already been speculating, Gemma goes to the IVF clinic to get help conceiving a baby. I'm Rickon, and I want to help you think about the you are. Who are you? And maybe more importantly, who is your baby going to be? She's at this place, and we see the dentist, and I'm not gonna lie, for some reason I thought the dentist was actually Ben Stiller for a while there. The doctor actually was one of the first to audition for Luke Skywalker.
Ben Stiller?
One thing you may not have noticed was when Gemma was writing the thank you letters, she was writing with her left hand. When she's in the clinic, she's writing with her right hand. Very small, subtle details.
Oh my god.
The dentist gives a quick look to Gemma as he walks by. Now, obviously, we're now at a stage where we think Gemma may not have even died. Gemma may have been alive the whole time, having faked her death. What did Ragabi say? She said that they know people down at the morgue, so they switched her body.
We all know she was kidnapped, but what if she just left Mark?
The teeth. This is what the dentist guy was doing. It wasn't just a test exposing her to pain. They're changing her teeth, or at least they did when they first brought her into Lumon, with another body so that when people identify her, boom, by the teeth, the dental records prove that's Gemma, even though her body with new teeth are in Lumon. But yes, what we see now are tests to see the effectiveness of the chip. She doesn't remember what she's doing in the other rooms. She just remembers that she feels pain or fear, a sore hand from writing too much. The title of this episode is called Chikabardo, which is the fourth of 6 stages in the Buddhist transfer from life to death.
Who likes short shorts? I like short shorts.
This was the saddest and darkest episode. This had more of an increased feeling of tension and severity. Yeah, the whole miscarriage scene in the shower, that was pretty tough to watch.
We stopped watching when the shower scene started because it was too painful for me and my husband. But the hugging in the shower is all too real.
I almost get the feeling like Gemma was there to meet Mark, like waiting. Like Lumon and her had something to do with this. It's weird, I know, but I just got that kind of feeling. Could Miss Huang be the child of Dr. Maurer and Gemma from 15 years ago? In this episode, we meet some new people called the Watchers. There are 4 of them who resemble the MDR team, including Irving, this was probably in the past, that are watching out of the computers and through different cameras in the macro data refinement office. What are they learning? They're learning their patterns and their algorithms. So in the future, maybe they can do this themselves or without any people at all. So these are starting to make sense. And wait, what's with the eye test? This eye test, right beside it, there's a goat test. A goat eye test. I mean, I can see how you have to say what position the goat's in, and as it gets smaller, it gets more difficult, but I still don't see what the point of that is after having an eye test. So I assumed it was for goats, but that doesn't make any sense. Is it for the goat people, though? Maybe they don't work well with letters. I don't know if that's going to have really any relevance other than just being weird for the sake of being weird, but maybe. We'll see. And I was surprised that Mark, when he wakes up at the end, doesn't say anything. He's just bewildered. And I was expecting him to say, like, I see everything so clearly now. Like, literally, like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix Revolutions. Remember, like, Bane burns his eyes, and it's like, oh man, he can't do karate fighting, can't do anything, and now he's blind. But now he sees everything in this totally different, Matrix reality. It's all like flames. I thought Mark was gonna go through something like that, maybe.
Money.
Not literally. But he's gonna know where Gemma is and what to do. He's literally in the Matrix right now. The testing floor, although the colors are the same with the hallways as the severed floor, it really has more of a hospital type vibe. I actually thought of one scene there, I think in the dark, where Gemma's trying to avoid being caught by the nurse, that it reminded me of The Exorcist Part 3. maybe there could be a little more security. Like, I just watched Terminator 2 recently. There would be more people on hand to stop Gemma. I think it's a little different. You've got someone who seems very dangerous, like Linda Hamilton's character, Sarah Connor, who's talking about the end of the world all the time. Whereas Gemma has most likely been a lot more cooperative and calm, and there's sort of a level of trust.
You like her.
She's easy to like.
Didn't she try and break your fingers?
These past scenes with Gemma and Mark when they meet. I've been wondering if they would have a flashback. This is what we needed to see. In fact, before then, I even thought maybe we would see Mark in his first days as a trainee at Lumon and how they would be treated. Maybe there was a higher level of security in the first days of the chips, you know, to see how these guys would react. And kind of like families eventually learn to trust them. I've never had my mind so engaged with a show. Like, From was pretty close. And I definitely want to rewatch that. But like I said to other people, Severance is a show that's actually grounded in reality, in that this stuff could all happen minus the chips. But if that technology did exist in the chips, everything else is all possible.
A gardener.
Yeah,
A night gardener.
I think so.
Yet simultaneously, it comes out and appears like a show more like From, like you're in some alternate universe. It's got this duality, you know, like ambiguity, right? At times, you know, I find this show to be kind of like the X-Files.
Oh my God. She's one.
One what?
One of us.
I love you. Ooh. I said, I love you.
I love you too.
I love you.
I said.
Oh, no, I love you too, and I'm sorry.
I love you.
Now, it's safe to say there are similarities between this show and Dollhouse from 2009, Joss Whedon. The show mainly follows Echo, played by Eliza Dushku. She's a doll or active for the Los Angeles Dollhouse, one of several facilities called houses. The company hires out people to wealthy clients. These engagements range from romantic interludes to various criminal scenarios. The actives have their original memories wiped, and they stay at the dollhouse until programmed with different memories and personalities for each different mission. Echo is unique because she remembers small amounts even after her personality and memories have been wiped out, which might be similar to a reintegration, or more specifically like Irving and his sleep deprivation and obsessive painting. In season 2, the episode Belonging features Deechin Lockman. About a year before, she was an Australian tourist called Priya Setsang, trying to sell paintings on Venice Beach. She's approached by Nolan Kinnard, who's a doctor who works for the Rossum Corporation. But she doesn't really want anything to do with him and storms out.
You disgust me. Nothing in this world could ever make me love you.
When Sierra's in her blank state in the dollhouse, she's painting these pictures that look sad. So Echo goes to Topher to try to get some help. We see pictures of Sierra in Kinnard's drawer and different types of outfits and different hairstyles, which is similar to Severance episode 7, with Gemma or Miss Casey's different tasks in all the rooms she goes in. Now these different scenarios all played out with Gemma wearing 1960s clothing like she was in an Austin Powers movie. Allow myself to introduce myself.
You are not you. You're me. No shit.
So basically the guy who couldn't have Sierra just pumped her full of drugs, and she's some kind of sex slave at the dollhouse.
They're torturing me! They're torturing me. I'm a prisoner. I'm a prisoner.
They torture us down there. We're prisoners!
So as similar as some of this might seem to Severance, there is a bit different type of purpose. I think Severance has something a little more sophisticated than this. We're seeing examples of common fears like being on airplanes, going to dentists, and just a thing about that dentist, it's 2 hours and she remembers just being in there. You know, like non-stop work on the severed floor, except in a dentist office. I mean, that's horrific.
Oh my God, my teeth hurt. Help me. Where's my mother? I need to pee. This hurts. Please, can I have some candy?
Writing endless notes with her left hand for some reason. Exercising with a guy who, as I still say, looks like Ben Stiller. And so I'm getting the idea that this exact consciousness can be used on all kinds of people. It may not be actually their conscious mind, it may be this conscious to replace them when they are severed in these situations, like going on an airplane or something.
This is perfectly normal.
This episode essentially answered one question with 100 more questions. But we're on the verge of something now.
It's always Christmas.
And what are these Ethan meters? Or what are these, what do you call them again? Thiessen meters? South Park?
I'll be taking readings here, and we'll be able to determine your thetan levels.
Thetan levels.
Yes, Scientology. This cult is becoming more like Scientology. Mark ran like Tom Cruise. He said he studied Tom Cruise for the beginning of this episode. Is Tom Cruise gonna be in this season? They got the blood, they got the information, and what are with those testing? What do you call them? The ideographic cards.
Chikai Bardo. I don't know, it looks like two guys fighting.
We realized there was something serious about these, even though they looked really silly. Were they teaching people to fight, like in different countries? Because Lumon is international. It's everywhere. There's hundreds of locations. It was also interesting seeing Sandra Bernard.
Hello. Bunny? Baba.
As an evil nurse, and she even needs to have a little blood test in order to key herself in through the room. So getting in and out of that place is tight, other than that if you steal a key card like we've seen from Grainers in season 1, you can go up the elevator. But in this case, she reverts to Miss Casey, her innie, doesn't even know what she's doing. She wants to at least get through the door, but boom, there's Milchek, who looks like he's literally ridden his motorbike from somewhere at warp speed to stop her. And just like in season 1, episode 8, I felt so bad for Gemma getting turned around again by Milchek. She can never get through that door.
Miss Casey.
Gemma's outie is stuck inside and wants to get out, but her innie doesn't see a reason to leave, per se. On the other hand, Mark's outie is outside, but his innie is stuck inside and wants to get out. And one of the things you can do if you really like this show is you can subscribe to my channel so you can watch more amazing content like this, because I never make videos like this. I had a feeling this floor, the testing floor, would be populated with more people. However, there's a scene right here with this door. Who's in there? And are there other doors that we don't know about? There was another scene which kind of creeped me out, and it was just talked about briefly by Drummond. I believe he said to Dr. Maurer that once Cold Harbor's completed by Mark, we won't need her anymore.
When he's done, you're gonna have to say goodbye to her.
What are they gonna do with her? And I totally liked Devin when she was going on about throwing Rigabi off a bridge.
Plainly, but if you give one solitary thought to messing with my brother again, I will throw you off a fucking bridge.
Gemma thought that Lumon could help her have a baby, and maybe they told her she had won one of those prizes on the survey she had previously completed. So boom, a little bit of time on a mysterious Scientology-like underground testing facility was no problem. And then when Rigabi says she's out the moment Cobell is brought in, and I thought that phone call might get made, but then boom, it's over. And you know what? It seems like Devin's now like, you know what? Hold on a sec. Maybe I won't call her, but it's like, no, you even just mentioned that name, Cobell, and I'm done. Rigabi's like out of there. And when are we going to get to see Cobell again? Obviously, it's got to be the next episode. She's going to come in and she's going to tell us all kinds of crazy stuff that she's been holding back forever. She knows a lot of stuff, and she's pissed off too. And we got to find out who that weird tall guy is with those MMA-looking ears that was, hanging out with Helly. Someone also pondered a bit about the open house, and this might be one of Lumon's amazing apps that they can use for Gemma. And this opens her up to different consciousnesses, is that how you said it? Of different consciousnesses when doing tests with the airplane simulation, the the 1960s TV, and other 3D printed products from the O&D team. When Gemma and Mark and Rickon and Devin were together, I had a feeling we were going to get to see the funny bees. Didn't happen though.